Welcome back to my channel Lomzy Sews. In today's tutorial I'm going to show you how I made this corset. It's very easy if you pay attention. Now this is going to be the sewing tutorial. In the previous tutorial I showed how to draft every part of this corset. So this is going to be the sewing tutorial. If you have not watched how to draft it and you want to learn, make sure to click the link in the description section so that you will be able to learn. If you can see, this is the base of the corset before I embellished it. You see how neat it is? This is what you're going to get if you follow all the instructions. So make sure to continue watching. Let's start with the tutorial. These are the materials I'll be using for this tutorial. Take note of every one of them. They are very important. This is fiber and this is hair stay. So in case you don't know, and you need 8 AM ridgeline boning and also the other one. So everything here is very important. This is the 10 mm. Make sure, and this is anyway, this is corset mesh and is different from this tulle net or skin net. Very important. And then I have also this to tone down the color I want. So like I said, take note of everything here. You must need every one of them. So I'll just go ahead and first of all cut out my corset mesh. Like I said, this tutorial is the part 2. In the part 1 we did the pattern drafting of this corset that I'm working with. So make sure to watch the video on how I cut the pattern out. If you have not watched it, I will drop it in the description section. All I did was just to add sewing allowance to it. So I'm just going ahead to notch all my boning channels, all of them. So I have marked them. You might not see them, but I am seeing them because I have chalked them down using the the lines I marked. So now this is my tulle net. You can decide to double this. I can see my markings, so you can decide to double this or triple it. It depends on what you want. So mine, I just made it double. Now for your boning channels, to prepare for your boning channels, you're going to cut the straps. You're going to cut them in a bias form. You see what I'm doing? Then you're going to cut out 1.5 inches. If you're using mesh fabric to cover up your boning channel, you have to do it differently. I also have a tutorial on how to do that. I'll drop it all in the description section. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut out 1.5 inch bias strip. I'll cut as many as I need. You can see it's stretchy. That's what you need. So you go to your machine now and you're going to sew 1/4 inch out. And then when you're done sewing it, you should turn it inside out. I'm using affix pin to do this. You can use whatever method to turn your loops, is fine. Off camera I did as many as I wanted. All you need to do is, after returning it, you just insert your bonings into them. You can see it's very easy. So I'm going to show you how to sew the V, the deep or plunging neckline. Make sure to iron this. So after ironing it, this is how it's looking. I've made some channels, but I'm going to show you importantly how to make this plunging neckline. So to get the V effect, you're going to place your channel like this, the first one, and then you place the second one on top of it. You see, the V has come out. So just sew the first one and sew the second one. So after sewing it, this is how it's going to look, right? So you decide how you want your final look to be. If you want to double your fabric like this, it depends on you, how you want your design to look like. So this is not what I'm going for. I'm going for a single turn up because this is going to match with my lining. So next you're going to place your skein net and sew the V and turn it. After sewing it, I had to cut out the excess now. You see, now is the time that I'm cutting that off. Then you turn your lining. So you're using your 2 nets as your lining. Then when you turn it in, it should look like this. Can you see? Very easy. You see the back? Yeah. So you can see how many pieces we have. Make sure to pin them down so that it's in place. And then for me to sew the down, I have a bias that has 3 inches width. Then you sew it and turn it over. You can actually do 2.5, but I like to do 3 inches. So after sewing it, this is how it's looking already, very neat. Next, we are going to the main matter of the day, which is the cup. So remember, I have drafted this tutorial. All I did was just add sewing allowance all around everything. You can do 1/2 inch to the cups, and then to the side seam you can do 1 inch, 0.75. It depends on you. So that's all I did and arrived at this. So these are my pieces, as you can see. Then I'm going to first of all sew the lower part and then iron it out. This is it after ironing it, you can see. So we are going to prepare this for to make bust caging. I interface this 2 times. You can see how deep it is. Our bust caging must still be like this. It must still come out deep like this after doing the bust caging. So like I said, this is 8 a.m. ridgeline boning. If you haven't noticed, try and check it out now. Inside a ridgeline boning, you will have several pieces of fishing line inside it, and you use this plier to pull it out. This is why I said everything I showed you in the beginning, you need all of them if you want to be making corsets. So I would suggest you get anyone you don't have. So you just keep pulling this like this. As you're pulling it, it's going to be giving you that curvy effect. But take it easy so that you don't wound yourself, because this can actually wound you. You see, it's coming out like C. So you're going to place it here like this. This will make your cup not to be flat. So after doing that, you can decide to draw out your design, but I don't actually do this. I just use my eye and eyeball it, but I must add in all the sewing allowances. So after doing it, you can see the depth is still there. Everything is nicely done. So next, I'm going to use this fiber to make what they call fleshing. Fleshing just means covering up the boning. So remember, you're going to, after covering it with the fiber, you're going to use the hairstay to make it look neat. You can see it's still deep. So next, we are going to add this fashion fabric, that's the lace. If this is what you want, if you want the lace to be on your cup, you can do this now, or you can decide to do it after you're done. You just do your lace placement, but I'm just going to show you how to do this. I will not use this though, but I'll show you. Just keep placing your fabric and bring the excess towards the dart area. Do you understand? Just keep aligning it. Whatever excess you have, you keep pushing it to the dart area. Once you're done, you cut out the pieces. You see, all my excess is coming towards the dart area. Can you see? When you're done, just open this like this and make it to relax. So you have to be careful, because when doing this, you might pull it and your cup will start getting smaller. So when you're doing it, keep checking to see if it's relaxed. You see, mine is not relaxed. That's why I'm loosening it out and also making it to relax, because you cannot waste all your efforts of making your cup deep, and then one small thing will just spoil your job. So you keep making it, don't drag it. Once you're done, this is how it should look. But I'm not going to be using this, so I am going to be using my net to cover mine, so it will match with my corset. So this is it after sewing it with the lining. I'll be showing you two methods of sewing this. So this will be the first one. Now what you're going to do is to turn this and use your main fabric to sew, and then sew in your lining. So this is the first method. Sew your main fabric. You can see I've sewn the main fabric to the corset, and then I'm going to now hand stitch the lining. This is method 1. I'll show you method 2. Method 2, this is my cup. You can see how neat it is, deep. I also use boss caging. So this method is when you're using boss caging to make your corset. So now you're going to sew your lining first, unlike the first one. So this is vice versa. Then you're going to now use needle and thread. You're going to sew the main fabric. I'm telling you guys, this method is best for me. That's the best method. It will make it easier. The other one, when you're hand stitching it, is difficult. So you first of all sew your lining to the corset, and then as you're sewing the main fabric, you are arranging it properly. So once I'm done, this is how it's going to look. Just remember that this particular method, all you need to do is first of all you sew your neckline. So this is the other side. Just go ahead, sew the neckline, and you sew the lining to the material, and then close up with the main fabric. So going over to the yoke, you can decide to sew this down, but I will advise you to do this on your mannequin or on your client. So I'll just go ahead and cut out the yoke, and I'm going to insert it. Make sure to notch where the balance point is. This is very important. And then I went ahead to pin my corset down first, and then stretch and arrange the net on it and pinned it down. You can use your hand stitching to do this. I think hand stitching would be better. So if you want the tutorial on how I made this skirt, the straight skirt, let me know in the comment section, because so that I will make it the part 3 of this video. I didn't make the video, but if you drop that in the comment section, I will be able to do that. So this is the back. For the wrapper illusion, you're going to measure where you're adding your zip to, and start from there. Gather the wrapper illusion a bit, then you let the remaining parts to be straight. Do you understand what I mean? That will make your illusion to stand out nicely. So for the back, I have cut out the thing I'm using for the eyelet. So we are going to prepare for the eyelet. So this is my fabric. I folded it in a bit. I'm going to fold it and measure out 3 inches. If you want, you can do 2.5 inches, depending on what you took out from your back. This piece, you must take it out from your back. So this is it. As you can see, this is the crease line. From that crease line, I'm going to mark for eyelets and boning channels. Do you understand? So this is going to be 2 and this is going to be 1. Then this is for the eyelets. So I'll just go ahead and cut out, adding sewing allowance to it. Already when I was making the pattern, I already indicated this part that is for the eyelets. So if you have not watched that first tutorial, make sure to watch it out. So this, I am going to close this. I left 1/2 inch up here. This is going to be equal because we are going to use bias to hem this just like we did for the front. So I'll just go ahead, right side facing, wrong side on wrong side, I'm going to sew this. So this is what I mean by wrong side and wrong side. First of all, I'm going to put the channel, the boning. This is going to be for the eyelet, right? So I am going to put this wrong side together like this and sew it. Make sure to leave your sewing allowance, and after sewing it, it should look like this. Then you're going to turn this over. Before you turn it over, this is it. After sewing it, you're going to close. Remember, you left 1/2 inch. You're going to close it like this. You sew it, and then you turn it out. Make sure your boning would be 1/2 inch shorter than this. Anyway, if you make that mistake, you will correct it, you notice it. So this is it, and you just go ahead and sew this here. You can decide to run lines on your own, but I'm not going to run lines on my own. I just want it to be seamless. So all I'm going to do is just sew here. So you can decide to add plastic boning in here, but I don't want to do that. That would be a lot for me. So I'm leaving mine like this, and I'm going to hem the down. So you do the same thing you did for the front. Remember, it's 3 inches. You can decide to make it 2.5, but I always like to be on the safe side so I don't struggle with my material. That's why I like to use 3 inches. So just close this like this and sew it just the same way you did for the front. So this is it. After sewing it, you do your stitch in the ditch, and that's it. So for the eyelet, we are going to go over to the table to put this eyelet. So mark down your eyelet, and this is the big one. Let it face down. The flat side should face down, and then you use your soldering iron to make the hole where you're inserting this. Then you use the flat one and then hit it at least twice, and this is it. So I'll just go ahead and do all the eyelets. Remember, the spacing should be nothing more than 1.5 inches. So you mark 1.5 inch space interval for your eyelets. So I'm just going to go ahead and add all the eyelets. If you have not given this video a thumbs up, please do that in the comment section. Also drop a comment and share this video out to your sewing community on Facebook, Pinterest, anywhere you can share this video out, please. So this is it after doing it, and this is my back. My yoke, I doubled it, and then I'm going to insert zip to the back. So after doing that, this is the eyelet channel. So you go ahead and attach it to the side seam, and that is basically it. So the front panel is ready, the back panel is ready. All we need to do is just to add the two of them together. This cloth is going to the US, so I want them to be able to adjust it by the side seam. So I'm not going to, this is how I want to finish mine, so that it will be easy for the person to adjust it from the side seam if there's any increment. And there will be nobody to fit it for me. My client is not here to fit it for me. Okay guys, so this is the final look. Make sure to subscribe and turn on all notification bell icons so that you don't miss any of my sewing tutorials. As you can see, they are very simple and easy to understand. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.